This is Sony ESPN.
Welcome into the latest edition of ESPN FC. I'm Dan Thomas, joined by Stevie Nicol, Alejandro Moreno, Shaq Earson. We also welcome Gab Marcotti to the programme. Only one place to start, really, today's show, and that is Argentina and the suspension of Lionel Messi for 4 matches after being filmed swearing at a linesman. That, of course, coupled with Argentina losing 2-0 against Bolivia, means that it's been a very bad day for the side. Let's start, shall we, with Lionel Messi's suspension.
Yes.
This was all basically established from Chile, who sent the authorities the video of Messi swearing at the linesman, and that is why the punishment has been given out.
Right, so the referee doesn't put this in the report. The assistant referee doesn't put this in the report. There is no record of this until Chile says, you know what? He did say a couple of naughty things. Now, it's not church Sunday when you play this game. And I'm not condoning people insulting referees, but it's commonplace. And it happens more often than you would like it to happen. If it was so egregious to warrant a 4-game suspension for Lionel Messi, then why is the referee and not the assistant referee putting this in the report? Why did they not deal with it during the match? Clearly, it was something that was insignificant in their minds, so much so that they did not mention it. And it tells me a clear message that there are forces behind this that are making an example of Lionel Messi and clearly have an agenda against Argentina.
Why?
Well, very simple. Chile sent the video, right?
Yeah.
Where is Chile in the standings right now?
Out of the automatic qualification.
And so therefore, it makes all the sense in the world to connect the dots and say, you know what? It benefits Chile that Messi is not playing for Argentina.
But how can those who make the decision have that in play?
Well, because Chile have had a couple of players suspended because of similar things. So basically they're taking advantage of any little thing they can to help the team on the field get back up the table. And if it means Messi doesn't play for Argentina and they drop, then that helps Chile.
The other thing at play here, and quite clearly these are political forces, which I don't agree with. But Chile's FA launches protest. Keep in mind, the background to this is Argentina's FA are in absolute disarray and in no position themselves to really, not necessarily strong arm, but even maintain a strong position in defending their star player. And the Chilean FA absolutely know that and make good use of it. Chile just have greater pull, both within CONMEBOL and within FIFA, and have made it tell. But to serious point, and yes, Chile can show that they have had players who've suffered suspensions because of similar actions. I think where we're stepping into here is dangerous territory. There's one thing when the referee reports something and CONMEBOL or whoever it is takes action. There's another when the referee doesn't see it and video evidence picks it up and it's reported and then action is taken. This is completely separate when quite clearly the referee saw it, didn't report it, and yet still video replay of the incident is being brought back in retrospectively to overplay what the referee decision was by a third party. It is a dangerous ground to be treading on from a CONMEBOL perspective. Fair play to Chile for playing this card.
But you'd have to say that not only are Chile sticking the nose in, but you'd have to say that right at the very top, somebody wants this to happen. Because, listen, I've sworn at enough officials to know that if you've said something that you shouldn't, they can't wait to get into you. They can't wait to report you. So the fact that it hasn't been reported at all, particularly from the assistant who supposedly was swearing at, tells you that not only are Chile after Argentina, but somebody way up high is after them as well.
Let's bring Gab Marcotti into the conversation. Gab?
Yeah, all right. So I do think 4 games is excessive. Let me get that out in the clear. But there are procedures here before we all go and pile on and see vast conspiracies. the assistant referee does not file a report. The referee does. You can't really have it both ways. You can't say, well, he didn't think it was serious enough to put in his report, and then you say, oh, but he saw it.
They both fill the report in. It's not just a one-man band. They sit down and they talk about it. I've been involved in all this. Linesmen making up stories. You said this and you said that. So don't tell me that the linesman is not sitting with the referee and talking through the report, because that's exactly what they do after the game. They all sit down and they all throw their 2 pence worth in.
As far as I know, it's up to the referee to what degree he wants to go and talk to his assistants in compiling the report. I mean, until you actually go and depose the referee, you don't actually know if the referee obviously saw Messi shouting at the assistant, but the referee could have also assumed that if it was serious, the assistant would have told him.
Gab, exactly. They all get changed in the same room. It's like a dressing room for them. Are you telling me that the linesman's not going to say a word to the referee about it if it merited it? Come on.
Well, I have no idea. All I'm saying is before we jump to conclusions, and I think at the very least we should wait and see what these people actually say and what the justification is. I don't know what happened, and I don't know what Messi said. What Messi said to the assistant. You're absolutely correct. The Argentine FA is in disarray, and there's a precedent of a country finding video and submitting it. That's not new. I mean, Denmark did it at Euro 2004. Italy did it in the 2006 World Cup in a game they weren't even involved in, the Germany-Argentina game. So, you know, there is precedent here. I think what we need to look at is, and the question needs to be answered is, was Messi treated harsher than other people in the same situation who would have done comparable things? Personally, I think he was, and I think that the Valdivia case, and I think it was Gary Medel, the other Chilean player, whoever it was, I think those situations were far more egregious than this one.
You look at it, Argentina should still be okay, shouldn't they, Ali? With or without Messi, looking at their remaining schedule, or would you be panicking off the back of that defeat against Bolivia?
It doesn't help when you lose against Bolivia, but that's a result that is not as surprising because of the conditions in Bolivia. However, you think that Argentina at home against Venezuela and against Peru, they should be good enough with or without Lionel Messi. However, you've thought about that in the past and they haven't delivered, and until you see it from Higuain and from Agüero and Di Maria and all these other players actually performing at a high level consistently for the Argentina national team, it remains a question. They should be okay, but it remains a question.
It's honestly an unanswered question, Shay. So why can't Argentina survive without Messi when they've got so many other good players?
I have absolutely no idea, and I think this bemuses not just me but everybody who sees this Argentina team play. Now you look at this team sheet, this is as stacked a team as there is in world football, without question. And I have made the point time and time again that I don't think I've seen a national team or mercurial star like Lionel Messi with a supporting cast like Argentina are able to put out on the park. Yet, whenever you see them, with or without Lionel Messi, you have to wonder if 10 of those players get paid to play the game. It is absolutely farcical as to how poor or how different these players look between representing their clubs and representing their country. And I don't know how you explain it.
What's your theory?
I think we should remember that on paper, with Messi playing and Messi not playing, it's incredible. But you've got to remember, even when Messi's playing, this team doesn't play well. Because he's the best player in the world, every time they do win, or certainly when he plays they usually win, he's involved in it. To me, it's down to the coaching. You know, you have to get the chemistry right. You can't always have the best players all the time. You need a mix. They don't have a good mix, and the coach just seems to pick the team on the name on the back of the jersey.
And yet, you would assume at home against Venezuela, at home against Peru, you would assume that they would have to be good enough. If not, they do not deserve to go to the World Cup. This is about merit. If you're not good enough to make it, unlucky. See you later.
Of course, so much more on this story over on the website, but coming up after the break, Gav will be telling us whether or not he thinks Alexis Sanchez is heading to Chelsea.